mean, yeah, it's pretty nonsense. I mean, when you think about it, if you just think that football is as simple as knowing if it's a run or a pass, and you kind of dismiss the knowledge that you have to compete at a high level. Just because you know it's a run, don't mean you know what type of run. We just installed 50 runs with 6 different looks each run. So, I mean, I can show you run all day. Do you know which 50 runs we're running? There's plays where we want it to look like run and we're passing it. And plays where we want it to look like a pass and we're running it. So if you're looking for me to tell you everything, then I can manipulate you, which is why they don't look at us that much as you guys think. It's never been that big of a deal on this side. I mean, we all know what type of talent he is, so, I mean, it's only a matter of time, right? He just had to know what they wanted him to do, how they wanted him to run the ball. It's a lot different from Carolina, obviously. So, I was talking to him. He's had a lot of different coaches, a lot of different type of offenses over his career. So I don't think this is any different. Actually, he picked it up extremely fast. Like, being able to trade for him on, a Friday, and actually have him suited up, playing, knowing plays on Sunday, I think is a huge testament to him and his knowledge of the game.
You talked to Chris Wilson just a minute ago about this stance thing. He says the kind of thing where it does affect you, but it could possibly impact other players in the offense if someone in the defense picks up on it. Have you had that conversation with him? He seemed to indicate that you guys have talked about it.
I mean, we talk about everything, but at the end of the day, would you rather me make him think it's a run and it's really a pass and put myself in bad position and the quarterback gets sacked, fumble, or what have you? I mean, is it really that important when you look at it? Because it goes past just a pre-snap, right? I mean, most drop back passes, it's a pass instantly. You look at personnel, right? You look at down and distance. You look at time of a game. We're in a 4-minute offense. How often are we going to pass the ball, right? We're in 2 minutes. How often are we going to run the ball? It's really, they don't. Linemen used to do that. Probably, 10 years ago, they used to give a bird and a rabbit call, but it screws everybody up because if I'm going to run a screen, I want you to rush upfield, right? So if you are going to change your approach by my stance, then I know how to get you to do whatever I want you to do, right? So if we might be running a trap. I want the DN to run upfield. I don't want him coming looking for a block, right? We give him a pass rush stance. I give him a pass stance, and now we get him upfield, we get him trapped, right? Or if it's a screen and we want the lineman upfield, you give him a pass stance. They run upfield, we throw the screen over the back. If we passing the ball over the middle, like we do so often, if I give you a run stance and that determines how you're going to play me, then I've got you beat, right? Because I sell run, linebackers step up because they're convinced that it's run from my stance maybe, who knows, and we go right over the top, right? So if that's the case, you put yourself in a position to get manipulated every different type of way. Of course.
On the flip side of that, were you able to pick up tells on defensive end?
Of course. So if a DN,
For example, like
if a DN has to go from a C gap to an A gap, I mean, he's going to creep in, right? Because he has to get there. It's not about deception at that point. It's about doing your job because there's 11 people, who are leaning on you to be where you're supposed to be. So they do the same thing. If a corner's blitzing, we know because the safety has to cover over top, right? And if he's not over top, then that hot read can go to the house, right? So, I mean, defenses do the same thing. If you look at it, you can look at the tight end and tell whether he's going to run or pass. I mean, the way he's lined up on the ball. You can see, if that was end-all, be-all, then that would be a big deal. But since it's not, it's only a big deal, a discussion on social media. It's not a discussion here. Oh, yeah, of course. But, like I said, they don't really. If you talk to the good rushers, you talk to Nick Bosa's, and they're not gonna watch me because I can mislead them, right? They're gonna look at their keys. They're gonna look at the formation. They can look at pre-snap motion. They can look at the quarterback. I mean, you in shotgun. If the running back is gonna get the ball, he's probably gonna be a little tighter to the quarterback. If he's releasing to the flats, he's probably gonna be a little wider. They see all of that. So to think it's just as simple as run or pass is, it's kind of elementary,